Muy buenos días con todos. Muchísimas gracias por estar con nosotros aquí el día de hoy. Estamos hoy con University of Leeds y antes de darle la palabra a nuestra compañera aquí, quiero recordarles el maravilloso convenio que tenemos con esa institución, el cual consiste en un descuento del 50% de descuento en el valor de la matrícula. Son algunos programas específicos, pueden encontrar toda esta información en nuestra página web colfuturo.org. De igual manera, mi compañera aquí va a hablar un poquito más sobre el tema. Les recuerdo que el programa Crédito Beca abre pronto el 10 de enero, cierra el 28 de febrero y los resultados salen el 11 de mayo. Entonces, si quieren más información de eso, también pueden dirigirse a colfuturo.org, hacer clic en programas y luego programa Crédito Beca. Megan, thank you so much for being here with us today. We can't wait to hear everything about the University of Leeds. So the floor is yours, and thank you so much once again.
Thanks, Bianca. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm just going to, just to clarify on the agreement that we have with Colfuturo, so it's 50% discount for one student, but it's 20% for all students. I'm not sure if you mentioned that, so just so that it's clear for everyone, it's 20% for all students and 50% for one student per year that's selected by the International Office. So today, I'll just begin the presentation. So hello everyone, my name is Megan Carlisle. I'm the International Officer for Latin America here at the University of Leeds. I'm originally from the West Yorkshire region, which is where Leeds is located, and my job is supporting students from Latin America who want to study at Leeds. I've been working at the university for 4 years now and in the International Office since October 2019, so 3 years doing this job. También hablo español, entonces si prefieren poner sus preguntas en español, no hay ningún problema, pero voy a hacer la presentación en inglés. And my email address is also on the screen here. So if you have questions after today's session and you would prefer to contact me directly, that's absolutely fine. And I'm more than happy to answer any more individual questions that way as well. So firstly, why might you be considering studying at the University of Leeds if you're looking to study your postgraduate degree abroad? So there are 3 things that I think it's important to mention here. The first thing is the academic reputation of the university. Leeds is a top 100 university in the world in the QS World Rankings, and that's a position that we've held for quite a number of years now. We are also really highly rated in the REF, that's the Research Excellence Framework here in the UK. So over 90% of our research is rated as world leading or internationally excellent. So you're looking at a very high quality, academically prestigious institution. Secondly, Leeds provides our students with excellent graduate skills when they leave the university, and that puts you in a really strong position to find graduate jobs, whether that's in the UK, in Colombia, or in other countries as well. So we're the 5th most targeted UK university by graduate recruiters, meaning that big companies really want to work with our students when they leave. And that's because of some of the experiences and skills that our students have access to developing. And then thirdly, and importantly as well, Leeds is a fantastic place to be a student. So we were voted 3rd in the UK for student experience in the Times Higher Education Student Experience Survey. So that was the students themselves saying what a good place it is to be. So I think that combination of academic reputation, graduate skills and access to career development opportunities, and a fantastic student experience is what makes Leeds a really exciting choice. So one of the things that I think makes Leeds a nice place to be a student is in fact the city itself. You might not have heard too much about Leeds, or maybe not that well known outside of the UK, but we are in fact the 3rd largest city in the country with a population of just under 1 million people. So not too big, not too small. We are located in the north of England and the centre of the UK, which you can see in the map, and we're very well connected to the rest of the country. So it's just 2 hours to London by train, about 2 hours to Edinburgh, and 1 hour to Manchester as well. There are also 2 international airports within an hour of the centre of the city, and those can be accessed very easily as well. So it's a good base to explore the rest of the UK and Europe as well while you're here studying. The region that we're located in is called Yorkshire, that's where I'm from, and hopefully the accent is not too difficult. I don't think it's a particularly challenging one. Yorkshire is the UK's largest county, and as well as having, England's largest county, and as well as having big cities like Leeds, York and Sheffield, it also has areas of really nice countryside, coastline and nice beaches as well. So it's a good, a beautiful part of the country as well, and you can access a lot of those natural areas from the city. The City of Leeds is very student focused. There are 4 universities in our city, including the University of Leeds. So that means that the city life really feels like it's focused on young people and students. There are lots of students here and lots of things for you to get involved with. And in terms of industry, Leeds is one of the UK's largest centres for business, legal and financial services. So we have the largest financial sector in the country outside of London. And we have the fastest growing legal sector in the country as well. So if you're interested in working in those industries, there are lots of opportunities within the city, and the university has links with some of those companies as well. And outside of your studies, there's plenty for you to do in the city. So Leeds is a centre in the north of England for sport. So we've got a rugby ground, a cricket ground and a Premier League football team here. Arts, theatre, opera, music, essentially anything that you would expect from a big city, but on a more compact scale than maybe somewhere like London. So you can see on this slide some examples of what our city looks like. It's difficult to picture places when you've not had the chance to visit yet. You can see Leeds is not a super historical Harry Potter style of architecture. It's quite a modern city. So we have a lot of Victorian buildings, like the market, which is in the bottom right-hand side of the screen. And then we have more modern buildings as well, like this building here, which is a modern shopping centre in our city centre. So it used to be quite an industrial city, so it's got a bit more of a modern cosmopolitan feeling. Moving on then to focus on the university itself. Our university is a single campus university. So this means that everything you need is on this one campus, which is the kind of brighter area at the front of the image here. So that includes your academic spaces like libraries, lecture theatres, classrooms, but also social spaces like our Students' Union, which is the heart of social life for our students, and sporting facilities such as the Edge, which is our student gym. And this is all contained within our one campus. As you can see, it's quite large and it's got lots of nice green space as well. However, one of the things that I like about Leeds is that the city centre is just 10 minutes walk from our campus. So we're very well integrated into the city centre. And to have a university of our size, which is on one campus and so close to the city centre, is fairly unique within the UK. You won't find that that's that common. It's also convenient. Your train station is just 15 minutes walk as well. So single site campus, but really at the heart of the centre of the city. So we were established in 1904, but we've had a medical college here since 1831. So we've been teaching for over 100 years. And Leeds was founded at this real moment of the opening up of higher education, it becoming more democratic and more accessible to a wider range of people. And that's a spirit that we've continued with in the intervening 100 years. We're part of the Russell Group of universities here in the UK. If you've not come across this term, this is a group of 24 research-intensive, academically prestigious institutions. So it includes Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, etc., but also Leeds, Manchester, York, Sheffield, Newcastle, and universities like that. So any university in the Russell Group has a focus on research, and it's generally a good indicator that it's a high academically high quality institution. Leeds is a big institution. We're one of the 5 biggest universities in the UK with a student population of over 38,000 students coming from over 130 different countries. So a real mix of different nationalities on our campus and a very sizable student body. We're also big in terms of the number of programmes that we offer. So Leeds offers over 200 different master's programmes. So whatever you're interested in, you will likely find that there's something in that area that we offer here at Leeds. So I mentioned that our students come from all over the world. We currently have around 20 students from Colombia studying with us across a range of different programmes and levels. From Latin America in general, we normally have about 150 students, and they tend to be quite a nice community. We hold a welcome event every year, which we had a couple of weeks ago to welcome the new students from the region, and they're always very friendly and happy to be there and form a nice little mini community within the university. They're all watching the World Cup matches at the moment, not the Colombia ones, unfortunately, but Argentina and Mexico, they're all cheering each other on, which is nice. And so I mentioned that we're a big university. Our university is divided into 7 faculties or academic departments, and these are where the programs are taught. So in terms of the subjects that we offer, these are the big subject areas. So we offer arts, humanities and cultures, biological sciences, business, which I'll tell you more about in a second, as that's always popular, engineering and physical sciences. Again, I've got a slide on that in a moment because it's also very popular. Environment, medicine and health, and social sciences as well. So within each of these faculties, there are smaller academic units called schools, and they teach all of the programs. So this is to give you an idea of the types of subjects that we offer. So some of the areas that are always popular with Latin American students, firstly, business is always a popular subject area. And Leeds University Business School, which is our faculty of business, has is one of a small number of business schools to have triple accreditation. So that is accreditation from AACSB, AMBER and EQUIS. And these are the 3 main bodies that assess business schools. You'll see there are lots of rankings, and some of the business schools' key rankings are on the slides. The accreditations are also another good sign that the business school is high quality, and they're a very thorough assessment. So if you're looking for business programs anywhere in the world, try and find a school that has all 3 accreditations, which is what Leeds has. The business school offers programs within these subject areas, so international business, management, marketing, accounting and finance, human resource management or HRM, and economics. And within those units, there are various different programs. They have some really exciting programs, things like business analytics and using data analytics in that way. So that's also a really interesting area that they're developing. As you can see, there are strong individual rankings, and it's important to look at these when looking at things like the Col Futuro funding, because that's something that they take into account. Our business school is very international, so it's one of our most internationally diverse faculty. And they also have a big focus on employability support and careers advice. So they teach career skills as part of the programs. And they also offer more specialist advice to their students within the business school. So aside from the more general advice provided by the university's Careers Centre. The other area that's really popular at Leeds is engineering and physical sciences. So if you were to ask a UK student, what is the University of Leeds best known for? This might be the answer. So our engineering and physical sciences department is huge. It has 800 academic staff and over 7,000 students, so around 25% of our student body. And it's an academic powerhouse. It's one of the biggest research groups of engineers within the UK. They have really fantastic facilities. So the building that you can see on the picture, on the slide there, the image there, is the William Henry Bragg building. And that was a £96 million investment. And it's all engineering facilities with a particular focus in material science, but it also has kind of labs and facilities for all types of engineering disciplines that we offer. So we offer programs in civil engineering, chemical and process engineering, mechanical engineering, electronic and electrical engineering, alongside computing, physics, astronomy, maths, and chemistry. So a real wide range of engineering and physical sciences programs at master's level. And then just some other subjects where Leeds has a really good reputation. This is not an exhaustive list, as I've mentioned, we have a lot of different subjects. So we're top 40 in the world for development studies. That's in our School of Politics and International Studies. So that's programs like global development. We had a Colombian student last year who came to study global development and education with us. He was a Col Futuro scholar. So that's an interesting area. We also have programs in things like conflict studies, terrorism, insurgency, things like that. So it's quite specific, but Leeds is in the top 20 in the world for transportation science and technology. And again, this is an area that's been popular with students from Colombia. So things like transport planning is the real specialism here at Leeds. And we have a fantastic Institute for Transport Studies, which has all kinds of cool simulation facilities as well. I mentioned that we have programs in data analytics. So we've got a research institute called the Leeds Institute for Data Analytics, which works across the university, looking at lots of different applications of data analytics. which is obviously becoming a more important area. And then within different departments, you'll see different programs relating to data. So there's business programs, like I mentioned, but also like urban data analytics and things like that, healthcare and data analytics, lots of different applications of data science across our university. We also have the Priestley International Centre for Climate. This is a huge interdisciplinary climate research centre, looking to bring together expertise, so bringing together different perspectives from lots of different areas that are key to climate change research. So that's the atmospheric sciences side, but also the sociological, economic and political perspectives as well. So that's another really important research theme here at Leeds. And then we also have really good rankings in food science and technology. We're in the top 100 universities in the world there. And we're also top 10 in the UK for law and criminology as well. So we offer a range of different law master's programs that are very well ranked. And the building that you can see here is our Liberty building. That's our School of Law. So just to give you a little bit of information about master's study at Leeds, I'm aware some students might be interested in a PhD, but master's tends to be the most popular. I can obviously answer questions about PhD. So our master's programs are all 1 year in length, which is the most common in the UK. So it's a very intensive program. Master's programs begin in September each year. So we only start in September. And applications will open in October of the previous year. So applications for September 2023 are already open now. Your academic life typically includes lectures and seminars, which are our two main styles of teaching, but then also tutorials, workshops, and labs are obviously an important part for science courses. Like other Russell Group institutions, independent self-study is really important here at Leeds. So you'll be expected to manage your own time and workload, and also to contribute your own ideas, like speaking up in seminars is really important, as we want you to challenge the knowledge that you're being given by the professors. Teaching is research-based, with us being a Russell Group research-intensive university, and the classes that you're receiving will be based on the research that the academics are carrying out in that area. And each of our master's programs culminates in a dissertation or a research project. And this is typically around 1/3 of the credits on the master's program. So you'll be producing your own piece of research or contributing to a research group. So that's a really, again, research is really important to us here at Leeds, and that's the opportunity for you to contribute to producing that research. So I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation that Leeds is one of the 5 most targeted UK universities by graduate recruiters. And some of the reasons for that are because of things like our careers centre. So we have a careers centre here at the university that all students can access and use. And they offer a number of different services. So firstly, they provide information resources and circular opportunities, so job opportunities, internship opportunities. And some of those opportunities are just available to University of Leeds students, so they're exclusively for our students. They also run a series of events and workshops, so that might be with alumni, it might be with companies, or it might be run by the Career Centre themselves. And those are a really useful source of inspiration for thinking about your future career. And then the final main service that they offer is the careers guidance service. So these are individual appointments where you can either discuss your career generally or ask for more specific advice. For example, if you have an interview coming up and you want to prepare, if you want advice on writing a CV, on applying for graduate jobs, assessment centres, whatever it is, they can provide support there. And all of these services can be accessed through their career portals, so that's where students can book appointments, browse our different opportunities, access those exclusive vacancies that I mentioned, and find out about upcoming events as well. And one thing that we've been developing over the last few years is international career support. So this is a series of resources specifically for international students who we're aware have maybe slightly different career plans to UK students. And this includes advice on making the most of your time in Leeds, particularly if you're only here for 1 year studying a master's, how to prepare for jobs and apply for jobs in the UK if you're wanting to stay in the UK and take advantage of the UK government's post-study work opportunities, or it could be advice on returning to your home country, so returning back to Colombia, or going to work in a third country as well, going on to work internationally. So whatever your career plans are, there is advice there to fit those needs. So we're aware that moving to the UK is something that's really exciting, but it can also be a little bit daunting. So we have a program of support for all of our students and then additional support for international students as well. So the international student support starts before you arrive in Leeds with things like visa advice if you need that. And then there'll be a full welcome and orientation program when you first arrive to the UK, and you have to do a few additional things like setting up a bank account, moving into your accommodation. We offer a welcome service where we'll come and meet you at the airport and pick you up and take you to your university accommodation. Then once you start the program, all of our students have a personal tutor. So that's an academic colleague who you can meet with on a one-to-one basis and discuss any issues that you're having that might be affecting your work. And then there's also other welfare support like our students' medical practice, which is just next to campus, and Leeds University Union, which is our students' union. So students' unions in the UK are typically the centre of all of your social activities. So that's where all of our clubs and societies are run from. We have over 300 different clubs at Leeds, including sports, cultural societies, drama, theatre, music, whatever it is that you're interested in. And the Students' Union runs all of those, as well as also providing welfare support and advice as well. I just wanted to mention about facilities. So you'll find that with universities like Leeds that are in the Russell Group, we win quite a lot of research grants. So that means that we're able to keep investing in our facilities. So that includes labs, like I mentioned, the departments where students need access to labs. Those are often really high quality with the latest technology. It's also things like teaching spaces. So we've been opening lots of new buildings with new teaching spaces with sort of the latest technologies there. But also things like libraries, social spaces like our Students' Union, which had a huge refurbishment a few years ago, and our student gym, which is called The Edge and is one of the biggest student gyms in the country. It has a full 25-metre swimming pool and a full 200 fitness station gym as well. And that's right on campus. So things like that can really enhance your experience. And finally, accommodation. So here at Leeds, accommodation is guaranteed for all international students for the time that you're studying with us. So that would be 1 year for a master's, or if you're studying a PhD, that could be for all 3 years as well. There's a wide range of different residences, depending on your preferences. Most of the postgraduate accommodations are self-catered, so you would cook for yourself, you'd have access to a shared kitchen. You'd always have your own bedroom here at Leeds. Students in the UK don't really share bedrooms like they do in the US. Most of our postgraduate residences are located off campus, but they're generally within walking distance, so it's quite close to the campus. And you typically be sharing with other postgraduate students as well, rather than undergraduates who are obviously having a different experience. So living in university accommodation is very straightforward, as all of your costs are included. So all of your services like electricity, water and internet, but also your student gym membership, The Edge, is also included in the accommodation contract as well. So it's very straightforward and secure for you. So just before we finish and take time for your questions, I think I've spoken quite enough. Just some final information about applying to Leeds, fees and scholarships, as well as our agreement with Colfuturo. So firstly, to apply for a master's degree here at the university, for most of our master's degrees, you would need a bachelor's degree from a recognised university in Colombia with a GPA or a promedio of 4 out of 5. So if the course page says 2.1 like that, then you would need 4 out of 5 from Colombia. If it says 2.2, which is a very small number of our courses, then we would accept a GPA of 3.5. But typically we're looking for 4.0 and above. We may require a specific subject in your undergraduate degree. For example, if you want to study advanced computer science at masters with us, then you would need an undergraduate degree in computer science. But other degrees are more flexible. For example, if you wanted to study something like business management, that's open to students with any undergraduate degree. For a PhD, you would normally need a good master's degree in addition to your bachelor's with research experience. And typically for most PhDs, you would need to write up a research proposal and send that as part of your application. The other main requirement is the English language. So from our master's courses, we would ask for a minimum of 6.5 in the IELTS with at least 6 in each component. That's around a B2 level English. We do also accept other English tests like TOEFL and Cambridge. So in terms of how to apply for a master's degree, it's quite a straightforward application process. So the first thing to do would be to do your research before you apply. So check the courses that are available, any application deadlines, any entry requirements in addition to the GPA. Is there a specific subject background required? Does the course ask for any work experience? And all of that information can be found on our website. Once you've found the course or the courses that you're interested in, you can submit your application online through our applicant portal. It's 100% free to submit an application, and it's possible to apply to more than one program as well. So if you have a couple of different programs that you're interested in, you can apply to more than one master's. We would typically need to see documents such as your transcripts, so your academic history and your degree certificates. Evidence for your graduation plus all the modules or courses that you took during your university study. And these would need to be officially translated into English as well. We're using an official translator. You would also need your English language certificate, but please note this can be submitted with the application or later. So you can apply without the English language and you would receive a conditional offer. And then once you have your English, you would be able to send that to us. So if you have everything else ready, but not your English, you can go ahead and apply. And then some courses, we might ask for a CV to see your work experience. We might ask for a supporting statement, like a motivation letter. And we may also need references as well, but that will be listed on the course page and it's not always essential. My advice is apply as early as possible to the programme. It can sometimes take 6 to 8 weeks to receive a decision from the university. So by applying earlier, you'll get your decision earlier and you'll hopefully have more time to do all of the other processes like scholarship applications, accommodation and visas. So once you've sent your application, we will contact you if we need more information or if we want to invite you to interview. We don't interview for most of our master's programs, but there are some exceptions. You can see the progress of your application online in the portal, and then hopefully you would receive a decision from us. So if your application is successful, you would be able to see your offer letter and accept the offer in the applicant portal, and then you can move on to your visa and accommodation and funding applications. So fees are available on our website, and these vary a little bit depending on the programme, anywhere between £20,000 and £30,000. That's our typical fee range for the one-year master's programme. We do offer a range of scholarships for master's students, which I'll tell you more about in a second. Yes, I was just checking we had the slide in there. So as we mentioned at the beginning of the session, we do have an agreement with Colfuturo to offer tuition fee discounts to our Colfuturo scholars. So we offer a 20% fee discount to all Colfuturo students. Additionally, we select one student per year to receive a 50% discount on their tuition fees. So that's a 20% discount for all students, and one student per year receives 50%. And that student is chosen by our office on the basis of the academic and professional profile of the student, as well as the subject that they're coming to study. This tuition fee discount can also often be combined with our own university scholarships. So if you receive, for example, a tuition fee discount of 20% through Col Futuro, plus a 50% scholarship from the university, you could combine those and that would make a 70% fee discount, which I have known students to do in the past. So our Masters scholarships, we have Masters International Excellence Scholarships, which are available for up to 50% of the tuition fee. So these are for students starting in September 2023. These are for students from all countries, and each department will offer a different number of scholarships and a different amount, but the maximum amount available is 50%. So that's quite a considerable amount. There are 2 deadlines for application. So the first deadline is the 10th of March and the second deadline is the 12th of May. So 2 deadlines in the year. The only exception is the business school. For the business school, they offer 50% scholarships, but these are automatically awarded, so there's no application process needed there. So if you'd like to find out more about Leeds, the best thing you can do is contact our Link to Leeds ambassadors. These are all current students and most of them are international. We do have some students from Latin America, so if you want to chat in Spanish, you can do that as well. And you can contact them via email or through the website, through instant messaging, and you can hear about their experiences of being a student in the UK and get advice on how to prepare for studies. So Link to Leeds is a really useful site for you to visit and chat to our current students. We also have coming up this Saturday, the 26th of November, our virtual open day. So I'll share a link in the chat to this if you're interested in finding out more about our different programs. So there are a series of live talks which are general, so those are about things like financing your degree, admissions, career support and accommodation. And then there are also subject talks about our different programs which are available as well. Those are available on demand if you register for the event. So if you're interested in finding out more, you can register via the website that's there on the screen, and I'll share a link in the chat as well. And that's it. I hope you found the session useful. We have some time now in case you have any questions. I'll be happy to take them.
Thank you so much, Megan. Oh, we just had someone say, good morning, I have some questions. Johnny, si podrías decirnos tu pregunta, con muchísimo gusto te la contestamos. In the meantime, some questions that we get a lot is, oh, that's what I was going to say, TOEFL, IELTS requirements. So can we talk a little bit about English proficiency exams?
Yeah, so for IELTS, like I said in the presentation, 6.5 overall with 6.0 in each component. For TOEFL, it's 88 that we ask for in the IBT. Some of the programs do ask for a slightly higher score, so just double check the course page, but those are the typical requirements, yeah.
Wonderful, perfect. And then to everyone that is online, Megan's email is here. So if you have any very specific questions, if you don't want to ask anything now and you would rather email her, definitely reach out to her via email. While we wait for more questions, Megan, something that we really like to ask is what makes an ideal candidate for this institution? What is University of Leeds looking for?
Yeah, so I think what we're looking for from our master's programs, when we assess applications, the first thing we're going to look at is, does this student meet our GPA requirement and any specific subject background? And if you don't meet those requirements, we probably won't be able to look at the rest of your application. The university is popular, we receive a lot of applications. Then beyond that, in things like supporting statements and your CV, what we're looking for is a clear motivation for why the student wants to study this particular master's program. So do you have specific career goals? Have you done your research into the program? So if you can mention specific areas of research in the university or specific courses that you're really interested in taking with us, that shows that you're really dedicated to this particular program. And then I guess the second part is, what will you bring to the program as a student? What skills and qualities and experiences do you have that you're able to offer to the rest of the cohort? A master's in the UK, particularly at a university like Leeds, is a really collaborative learning experience. So you're not just learning from your professors, you're also engaging in a dialogue with them and with your other students. So we're looking for students who will have something to bring to our classrooms. So I think that's what we're looking for, is that student who's really clearly focused on what they want to study. They have a clear goal in mind for why they want to apply for this master's program, and they have something to offer as well in terms of their own experiences. Does that help to answer the question?
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much, Megan. And we have another question about the letters of recommendation. Do they have to be by teachers, by employers? What would you suggest?
So reference letters for Leeds are not as important as they are for some other universities, I'm aware. So you should only provide reference letters if we state on the course page that we need them. If not, you can just provide contact details of the people you would like to provide a reference, your referees. And if we need a reference, we'll contact them. So it's not super important for us. If we do ask for references, then we would typically say at least one of them needs to be academic. So somebody who taught you at university and who knows you quite well in an academic capacity. If you did an undergraduate thesis, your thesis supervisor, for example, would be a perfect person to put as your first reference. And then for the second reference, that can also be academic if you are coming straight from undergraduate and you don't have work experience. But if you are applying with some work experience, then that could also be an employer. So normally one academic, one professional is typical. But like I said, don't worry too much about the references for Leeds, because we only tend to use them if we need more information about your application.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Megan. And then we have another question. What is the application deadline? I know they are open now, but I don't know when it will be closed.
Yes, good point. So our final application deadline for most of our master's programs is the 30th of June, 2023. However, I wouldn't recommend that you leave it until then, because that would leave you a very short amount of time to do everything else, like applying for your visa and for accommodation and things as well. So final deadline is the end of June. But most students that we see for Colfuturo, they either tend to be applying now before the Colfuturo Convocatoria opens, so they can get their application to the university out of the way before Christmas, or they tend to do the Colfuturo application in January and then leave the university application till afterwards. I normally advise students not to try and do everything at the same time. Like, don't try to be working on your Colfuturo application, your master's application, your IELTS course. Like, don't try and do it all at once. Try and stagger, make a good timeline of everything. Yeah.
That is excellent advice. Don't do everything at the same time, especially if you need to prepare for the IELTS exam. So definitely try to space out everything.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it looks like we don't have
idea for applying for the masters.
Oh, wait, one more question came through. Let's see. Just to confirm, can I combine Colfuturo scholarship or agreement with excellent scholarship in order to get 80 or 100% scholarship?
Yeah, so you can combine. I'm going to say yes, but just with a little bit of a word of caution. Technically, the decision is with each individual department. So in most cases, our departments do allow you to combine a Colfuturo discount plus a university scholarship. Yes, I would say that in my time doing this job, which is 4 years now, I haven't seen any students that have managed to combine and get 100% discount. That's quite rare, to be honest, but I have seen students that have combined and maybe got like 75% discount, for example. That does happen sometimes. So yeah, it is possible. You do need to check with your department whether you're allowed to combine, or you can obviously check with me as well.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's perfect. Yes, you can combine Crédito Beca and then whatever this institution is offering, but definitely keep in mind what Megan was saying, that each program has specific requirements, and, just be cautious of it just in case.
Yeah, and getting a full scholarship, like to study abroad anywhere, is really, really difficult.
Agreed.
It's very few students that manage to do that. It's probably also worth saying, just so that everyone's fully aware, we don't provide any scholarships for living expenses. We provide tuition fee scholarships, but you would need to be able to fund your accommodation, for example, yourself. So you need to check the amounts required by the UK government and make sure that you're able to cover those costs as well.
Very good to know. Thank you so much, Megan. Oh, and more questions came through. Okay, there is a question about Colfuturo. ¿Necesitamos tener la aceptación de la universidad para aplicar a crédito beca? No, no la necesitan. No necesitan la carta de admisión de ninguna institución para postularse al programa crédito beca. Solo necesitamos saber exactamente a cuál programa se van a postular, pero si no tienen la carta no pasa nada. Claro que si ya la tienen, pues puntos a su favor, pero no es algo necesario. Okay, and then Johnny says that you have another question. Whenever you're
Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. Colfuturo scholarship is available for all master's programs at Leeds.
So we don't put any restrictions on which
Okay.
programs you can use a Colfuturo scholarship for, but obviously Colfuturo have their own requirements for the programs that you'd fund for, right?
Yes. So, Johnny, at this specific institution, the agreement that we have with Colfuturo is for all master's programs. However, if you look on our website and you see agreements with other institutions, you will find that some institutions have only for certain programs, maybe like a certain PhD or a couple of master's degrees. So a very good question. But in this case, it's a really, really good opportunity because it's available for all programs at Leeds. Okay, Johnny, you're welcome. And if anything, you have Megan's email right here on the screen. And if you have any questions about Programa Crédito Beca, you can always email us at yosoyfuturo@colfuturo.org. Sí, la convocatoria cierra el 28 de febrero, abre el 10 de enero, cierra el 28 de febrero y abre el 11 de mayo. No tenemos las fechas del 2024, pero normalmente son parecidas. Y Luisa, dices aquí que tienes una pregunta con muchísimo gusto. Cualquier persona que tenga preguntas, por favor, pónganlas en el chat y las vamos respondiendo. Ok. Estas maestrías que son como de 1 año, ¿cuentan acá como maestrías? Porque acá en Colombia son 2 años. Sí, igual cuentan. No importa que en algún país sean de 9, 10, 12 meses, igual te estarías graduando con el título de maestría.
And it's actually an advantage, like in a lot of countries.
Oh, yeah.
Like the US, it's 2 years. A lot of European countries, it's 2 years. In the UK, they're 1 year, but they're recognized in the same way. And that's like a little bit of an advantage for you guys because, you only have to be abroad for 1 year. You only have to cover your costs 1 year, faster career advancement. It's a really big, actually, advantage of the UK that the master's programs are only 1 year.
Definitely a really good opportunity. And don't forget that Crédito Beca isn't only for programs for 2 years, it's between 9 and 24 months. So specifically for programs like these that University of Leeds has that aren't 2-year programs, you can still use Programa Crédito Beca. Okay, well, it looks like there's no more questions, but thank you everyone for a very active chat. Your questions were very, very, Oh, no questions. Your questions were very good. Thank you, Megan. Megan has just put in a link for the virtual open day that she was mentioning. I don't know, Megan, if you want to give a little bit more info on that just before we say goodbye.
Yeah, just that it's happening this Saturday and because of the time difference, it might not be like optimal for
that's right,
to attend live, but just register anyway and you'll be able to access all of the talks and videos on demand. And it's quite a good idea to find out more about the programs, particularly like that we talked about academics.
Perfect. Really good opportunity. Everyone definitely register, especially with the time difference. Make sure you get the recording. Well, Megan, thank you so much for being with us here today. To everyone that's online, we will be sending out the recording of this as soon as we have it ready. And of course, if you have any questions about Colfuturo, you can email us at yosoyfuturo@colfuturo.org. And if you have any questions about University of Leeds, you can definitely talk to Megan here, who was so nice to give us information about programs at this institution, and her email is on the screen. Thank you so much, Megan. Have a wonderful day. And everyone that was online, see you at our next webinar. I hope everyone has a wonderful week.
Ciao.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.